Hello and welcome to a hobby update. I'm Captain Jack Gumption and this is what I've been up to in the last few weeks. There's not been many of these lately, not for the lack of trying. I must have recorded these episodes around about 3-4 times so far. However, everything went wrong. I tried using a different camera, one of my old professional camcorders. I wasn't quite happy with the footage on it. And also the file formats and stuff like that. So we've gone back to the trusty DSLR. I've dug out all my tripods and everything like that. So we should have hopefully a bit more of a nicer setup. So let's have a look at what we've mainly been up to. So we're kind of in this view because I've done some really big sorting and moving stuff around. It's been hard work. I've needed help, but we're kind of getting there. So it's not completed yet, but this is what we're looking at. So this corner has pretty much remained the same. Our little hobbying corner. We've got the nice little desk. I bought myself a little heater because it does get bloody cold in here. It runs on little gas butane things. We've cleared the hobby desk and stuff like that. I was in a charity shop and managed to find a DVD player and dug out an old TV because nothing gets thrown away in this household, and we've now got some entertainment. Currently watching the great British hero, that is Richard Sharp's sword. I've been going through these while I've been painting. Underneath the desk there, we'll get some cleaner shots of that in a moment. That's now all bits. We've got various different glues and paints and stuff like that down in that bottom corner. These are the IKEA Scottish pegboards. They're all sorted out as well. That corner has been pretty much sorted on there. Let's see if we can just tweak up the lighting on there so we just see a little bit better. Yeah, so that corner is basically tripods and various different wrapping materials. I've dug out an old bookcase, so we've got a bookcase for displaying some minis. We've also got cheapo plastic stacker case, which is all needs sorting, but that's going to be lighting bags and work in progress. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Still keeping with the Raven Guard display case. I'm going to tart that up at some point, as well as the army. My Raven Guard needs some love, so they're going to get some love this year. We're going to rebase them and stuff like that. And as we move over to the other side, so on this back wall, I've got a temporary desk set up there. Let's just move that out of the way. There's still a few little bits and bats kicking around, but yeah, we've got a temporary desk set up there. So that's going to have all my airbrush stuff in, because there's an electrician coming next week, I think, to basically get proper power down here and install me some new sockets, because the electrics down to the stable are hazardous and shoddy, to say the least. And then we've been sorting out this display, because I've dug out all my fantasy stuff, and basically my local Games Workshop store is kind of doing some Age of Sigmar stuff, so I'm gonna have a participate, I think, which is very unusual for me because I very rarely play. But the guy who's managed it say, "Don't worry about it." I know him. I've known him for quite a while now. He'll hold my hand and get me through learning everything. So let's have a closer look at these armies to start off with. So it needs some more organising and tweaking, but this is the kind of what this cabinet's going to be used for, because I don't have as much Age of Sigmar and fantasy as I do 40k. As you can see, one of the shelves is already 40k. It's my World Eaters slash homebrew army, which also needs some love and attention this year, but we'll go over that in a minute. So we've got on this top shelf, we've got some dwarfs, our lovely little dwarven faction. So because I don't really play all that much, it's kind of like a mixed bag. So we've got some Karajan Overlords. That's essentially the start collecting when Karajan Overlords first came out. So yeah, I like the idea of the Karajan Overlords, not as keen on the actual model range as such. And then as we move across, we've got quite a large contingent of Fire Slayers and things like that. Hopefully this is all nice and focused. So that is some Hearthguard, some characters. There's Gotrek in there as well. Then we've got our kind of like some more Fire Slayers, but behind them we've got some Dispossessed, and then that's kind of like Order in general. So there's some from Night Vault, the Warhammer's Underworld game, and then there's some old Empire Men-at-Arms with rifles. I've got some more of those to paint at some point. Moving down to the next shelf then, see if this will work. We'll go over the World Eaters another day, because I'm going to do a little bit of a tweak on those. So it is my chaos stuff. So the chaos stuff, we've got some beastmen. It's probably one of my favourite chaos factions from AOS, just because they're quite, I just like beastmen. They're pretty single track, destroy all humanity, and I like single track people. That's why I like World Eaters and Khorne, because there's no scheming, no messing around. It's just kill it. And then there's quite a sizable group of knights. Some of them need basing and stuff like that, but we've got a number of knights. And then right at the back there, if we can get it into focus, we've got our Dark Oath, the warband from the skirmish style game. They're probably some of my favourite miniatures. I do like barbarians in fantasy, and they are perfect. I'm not going to bother putting any pictures up or anything like that. It's just a basic overview of what I've got. And then right down on this bottom shelf, we've got some undead. There's more undead kicking about somewhere. I just need to kind of like dig them out. Again, there's some unpainted stuff in there. Most of that's painted and based. We've got some zombies, we've got some skeletons, we've got a necromancer, we've got a howling banshee lady, and then some vampires as well. I've got somewhere a vampire counts, not vampire counts, whatever they call it nowadays, box set to do, as well as all the Cursed City. So for the games, I'm either going to be going chaos with these guys, or I'm going to be going undead with these guys. Come on, focus. Yeah. And then these are the kind of like the last residues of what I need to get sorted out. There's some poxwalkers, some random imperial characters and terrain, and then obviously we've got our little Alright, so one of the other things I've done, as I said, I've brought down one of the display cabinets, and this is going to kind of be my 40k stuff. There's some foam board inserts on there, as you can see, either side, and what I'm planning on doing is turning this into like a little bit of a display shelf, a mini diorama. So this is basically all the forces of my Knight army and my Lamenters, who are currently fighting together on a planet called Leet, with some admech and stuff like that chucked in. It's going to span over 2 shelves, so there's going to be 2 shelves of the Loyalist army, the Knights. So this Knight here is Ignis Volps, or Firefox, named after the film Firefox. Is it Firefox? I can't remember. It's a really dodgy Clint Eastwood one from way back when. But yeah, that's the one that I entered into the last Black Toad painting competition. We did get the Land Raider finished, but I wanted to enter the Knight instead. I'll put some pictures of that up from what we've entered. There's currently another competition going on for bases. That little armature there, are kind of like what we've used. If we can get Mr. Armature in focus, yeah, there we go. For 2 of the bases, I need to do 5 bases. Those 2, we'll get some pictures of them for you. But yeah, that's kind of like what we're working on. I've tried some Vallejo water effects. I'm not 100% happy with them. I think it's more how cold it was down here when I was applying them than anything else. But yeah, so I'm happy with this display. It just needs a bit of dioramification, I believe, so they all look nice. And speaking of Mr. Land Raider, there he is. Let's tweak that light up a little bit. There is our Land Raider, the Redeemer. I'll chuck a little picture up that I took earlier on, but yeah, so we've got that. We've got some Terminators which are 90% done. They're kind of there for spacing and things like that at the minute. And then we've got this guy, our Terminator Captain, who is also done. Then we've got the Whirlwind, and then I took me Death Company out of the display cabinet because I figured, although I don't particularly like the idea of the Lamenters having a Death Company as such, I've got the models, they're all painted up, they might as well not go to waste. I do want to start playing more this year, so why not throw it in? They do need some slight changes because these are all Flesh Terror guys. They've got some little icons stuck on and I need to fix and sort that out. These guys as well, I don't know if I can actually zoom. I can zoom in a little bit more. These Terminators, as you can see, I free-handed the logos on, and I'm not 100% happy with my freehand at the minute. I'm going to stick at it. I've got some Blade Guard veterans and stuff like that I'm playing with. We are going to stick with it, but yeah, not 100% happy. Would have preferred the printed shoulders, but they're all moulded, and I didn't want to start just chopping everything apart. So yeah, and then last but not least, right down at the bottom in the dark, we've got the Tyrannid units that are kind of painted up on there, which is the Psychophage, is it, and a couple of Rippers and the squad. They're the ones that are kind of based for the minute. The rest of them are in these boxes here, because this kind of box here is going to be my little bit of a whip work in progress, kind of like organised and stuff like that. I've been playing with some other bases. This is one I'm tempted to enter into the Raven Guard competition. Not the Raven Guard competition, the basing competition. It's for the Primaris Repulsor thing. I can't remember the name of just the normal transport I got ages ago, but I never did the base, so I finished that base off to kind of go with my Raven Guard's current scheme, and this will probably be the scheme moving forward. So yeah, so I did that, and also I'm experimenting with bases because I managed to get, let's just tweak that lighting down a little bit, tweak that ISO down. A green stuff wool roller from a shop in Bridlington when we were on our holidays, and it's Alien Hive, and it's got that kind of nice H.R. Geiger Aliens hive base to it. So we're going to have a play with that for my Tyranids as well. Maybe combine them with the dirt and everything else. But yeah, so that is essentially the display shelves. There's another one of these cabinets up in the garage. It's just a normal bookcase. I'm going to work around kind of putting some extra shelves in it, and like I said, doing some diorama. And the other one will probably go where this one is, and this can be relocated, because this being stackable, we can take it apart and stuff like that. So yeah, so let's have a look at some of the other things that we've been doing. Alright, so I've been, as I said, during my week off, let's call it, I went to Bridlington for one of the days, and there's a really cool shop there. It's called Mighty Lancer War Games or something like that, and they sell absolutely all sorts. They sell Warhammer stuff, they sell like old Airfix models. I call them old because, you know, to me they are sort of old style modelling kits and stuff like that. And the, you know, painting supplies and stuff like that. So I picked up some materials. So we've got some Vallejo diorama water effects, because this is like a single resin essentially that you put on the bases and it dries. It's water based. I have got some of the woodland scenic stuff, but it's 2-part, so if you're just wanting little puddles and stuff like that, it's a bit of a pain. You have to mix it and then it takes forever to set, and that. This does set quicker, however I've found it does this, and I'll just put up the armature bases. It started to peel a little bit. Now you can put more over the top of it, which I'll try and do. I've got a feeling it's my fault. I did it when it was too cold, because it does say on there about temperature or something like that, and it has been some pretty cold nights. So yeah, we got some of that, and then I've got a variety of colours. What could they be for, Mr. Gumption? Well, I'll tell you what they're for. This is, so just quickly to say what they are. So this is kind of like a metallic blue from Humbrol. It's Baltic blue. I got this when they did the old pots of Humbrol paint. I've still got loads of old Humbrol pots. And it's quite possibly one of my favourite metallic blues. Not for application, but because it's a really nice kind of like blue metallic colour. I've got some chrome. I've got some brassy brass, Arctic blue and signal red, both in metallics. So there's a reason I've got these, because I'm starting to move more into getting my chaos stuff sorted out. So we got these colours because it's going to be for a scheme, for a particular thing, and this is partly a gift. So technically speaking, I haven't bought it for myself. It was a gift for me, because this is all about fighting the grey, not adding to the grey, but you know, accidents happen, and we've ended up with this. It's a Cerastus Knight Lancer. So yeah, as well as my loyalist knights, because every hero needs an enemy, right? I'm gonna make some chaos knights as well. Now I know for my birthday the missus has got me two things I know of. One is the 40k version of Khan, because I don't have him, and the other is a chaos knight, the standard kind of one. So we've got that, and we've got this Cerastus Knight, and this is going to be the head of that Knight house. I'm going to try and do a kind of like Hellforge world where these guys are based. I haven't started building them yet because I've been trying to clear off some other projects, mainly the Lamenters, which are starting to become a little bit of a bane in my life, but hey ho. But yeah, I wanted to kind of like sort out the chaos aspect of it, because I think that's probably going to be the faction that I end up playing most. So we've got Cerastus Knight, which is fantastic. Now, as I've said in other videos as well, a while ago, a very long while ago, Just get a bit of light on him. We've got this guy, Angron. I haven't painted him because around about the time that I got him and built him and primed him, that's when I had my brain bleed and I just stopped doing anything. But kind of like that was at the start of when the World Eaters started getting their own codex and stuff like that. And after looking at the rules, they require my army idea doesn't work now. So instead of wasting an expensive model, what I've decided to do is start building a World Eaters force. So we got these guys, which are the exalted not Hellbringers. What am I talking about? Hellbringers, the exalted Khornate guys. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer into that. There we go. The middle one is just about done. I'm trying a quick but decent paint scheme, which doesn't require much weathering and stuff like that. It's not really what I do all that often. There's a lot of contrast paints been used on this. I'm not 100% happy with it. My metallics don't seem to be metallicing too well. Again, I don't know if that's because of the weather, but yeah, the other two are following suit. So I did the first one as a test model, and the other two just need like the bone details and the base and stuff like that. They're going to have kind of like a blood base, like a granite-y blood base on there. So yeah, so we're building a World Eaters army now as well. The other reason I got those is because I'm currently working on some Terminators for my Sons of Ternak, which I wanted some of the bits off of this for them, so a kit bash. And anyone that hasn't seen, but is a big fan of Khorne, these are going to come in very useful for my knights. So these are the decal sheet that comes with it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I look forward to getting those on my knight, because it's going to be a Khornate knight, because most of my army is going to be undivided. The kind of like the Sons of Tynak clan is going to be undivided, but it's also going to be yeah, it's going to be Khorne influenced. So that's it for the update. It's a bit of a big one. I'm going to start calling these Hobby Waffles. It's going to be a bit of a new series because it's just me waffling and stuff like that. I am going to start doing some talking headshots as well. I was going to do it today, but I'm covered in crap. So I didn't want to come out on the live camera as a first appearance looking like a tramp. But yeah, not that there's anything wrong with tramps, it's just not an ideal look, is it? So yeah, I've been Captain Jack Gumption, thank you for watching, and until next time.